Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United with another little stream for you guys and gals out there. We are covering all the latest news in regards to United tonight and all the latest takeover news and getting into the latest bits of information, bits and pieces that have come out this evening and today in regards to Man United's potential takeover, which is hopefully coming very, very soon. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry to keep you waiting a few seconds there, guys. A couple of technical difficulties before we got going, but hopefully we're coming through loud and clear. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's see who we got in here. Nikolai Lindquist, fire up. How you doing there? Luke, Smoky Sniper, Naz786, Gav Dog, Rory C. What's up, mate? Dean Prendergrast, Gungshi, fire up. Duncan, Fat Frank, The Hoop Man, Rush Marno, Henrik Kjellman, Matthew Clayfield, Nick Pendragon, Ruthless Sausage, MUFC fan, Carlos Kutsametsa, Ayante Ogete, Snowy, and everybody else as well. Thank you very much for getting in the stream tonight, guys and gals. We will have a big Q&A at the end of the show, so stick around for that. We've got plenty to get into for now. Do us a favour, though, at the start of this stream, and absolutely assassinate that like button. Give it a massive thumbs up. Hit the like on it if you haven't done so. Share it around on social media. That helps us out as well. Give it a cheeky little share and share it to WhatsApp or Facebook or Twitter or somewhere. You can click the link at the top of the live chat, actually, and give us a cheeky retweet over there to help spread the word of the show. Thank you, guys. And if you're new to the channel, of course, then make sure you are smashing that subscribe button and get yourself involved in the live chat. You can chat if you've been subscribed for 0 seconds. So smash the subscribe, get yourself in there and say hello. But thank you all for joining, guys. We've got, it's obviously an international break. Nobody likes international break, but it's probably good time that it's come for Manchester United with what's going on in terms of injuries or players out. So kind of welcoming it this time. But the news is, let's face it, it's a slow news day. In regards to the latest news, though, for United and the takeover, that's not so slow. There is reports coming out this evening. You know, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted just a short while ago to confirm that essentially the deadline for secondary bids will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. So we were talking about this yesterday, that there was expected to be bids from Qatar and potentially Sir Jim by Wednesday, and it's confirmed this evening. So we've got a tweet here from Fabrizio that says, Sheikh Jassim still feels very confident on his bid to buy Manchester United for full ownership. So Ratcliffe's Ineos Group will also bid again after positive talks last week. The deadline for second bids tomorrow, 9 p.m. UK time. Then it will be up to the Glazers again. Hashtag Glazers out. So, yeah, I mean, this is positive, guys. It seems like it could actually be finally happening. We've got a new round of bidding essentially taking place. There's understanding that most of these bids that have already come in, they're not going to be improved upon too much, but they will be improved upon slightly. So there is an understanding that, okay, Qatar are favourites at the moment. There's also other outside parties other than Sir Jim Ratcliffe and also the Qatari bid, which is not known about so much publicly. We've talked a little bit about the Elliott Group and a couple of things yesterday in regards to their interest in investing and buying a piece of Manchester United. That's not what we want the full sale. Hashtag Glazers out. We have a super chat from Popeye the Sailor Man. You spelt sailor wrong there, my friend. It's got an O in it. He says, we're strong. Okay, I'm getting why you spelled it wrong now, bud. He says, we're strong to the finish because we know how to finish. We're Manchester Devilmen. Woo. Well, thank you very much, Popeye the Sailor Man. I appreciate that, dude. Nice one, mate. I suggest you go get yourself a tin of spinach to celebrate when we do eventually get new owners in, pal. Thank you very much for that, lad. And I'd also suggest maybe working on your spelling a little bit there, but each to their own, you know, that's absolutely fine. Thank you so much, Popeye. I appreciate that, lad. Anyway, right, so 9 p.m. Thank you for that, though, bud. Let's get some hearts in there for Popeye, right? How's Olive doing, mate? So 9 p.m. deadline tomorrow for bids to come in once again for Sir Jim Ratcliffe and of course the Qatari bid as well. And shout out to my main man Rush Marno, Transfers MUFC, who said this a lot earlier on in the day as well. Offers in for Manchester United by 9 p.m. tomorrow. Go give him a follow on Twitter for the latest breaking information. Transfers_UTD. So 9 p.m. seems like tomorrow the deadline. That's when it's going to be. And here's another report from James Robson, which just reports that Sheikh Jassim's bid for United is on track and will be submitted tomorrow. Still only 2 confirmed contenders to take over United, along with Ratcliffe, others looking at investment / capital funding. So we spoke about this yesterday in regards to the Elliott Group, and there may well be, I mean, this suggests that that's not the case, but there may well be, if there's a deadline tomorrow, 9 p.m., there may well be some other outside bidders that we've not heard about that maybe are interested in taking Manchester United. I wouldn't rule it out for a sort of 11th hour bid from somebody, but it does seem like there's only really the two strong contenders for taking over the club. There's a little bit more information that's come out in regards to Sir Jim Ratcliffe here. So Kaveh Solikol from Sky is reporting that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos delegation made a very good impression when they visited Manchester United on Friday, described as impressive and sophisticated in their approach to buying the club. Ineos will make a new bid to buy Man United before tomorrow's 9 p.m. deadline. So it's all going off. I mean, is it a two-horse race, or is there more outside interest from other parties? We'll have to wait and see. It does seem like it's mostly Qatar, mostly Sheikh Jassim, and, Sir Jim Ratcliffe that are properly leading the charge to buy the football club. So that's where we're at, really, guys. It would be cool if there was somebody else, cheeky Elon Musk jets in on one of his SpaceX rockets and just smacks down 7 billion on the table and says, go on then, let's be having you, and we just see a different contender in the mix. Although, most people, it seems, would be interested in the Qatar investment. I think you can't really deny Elon Musk's wealth either, but we're not talking about him because he's not actually legit involved. But it would be cool to see somebody else maybe come in and just add another option. But it doesn't really affect us. I kind of agree with what Paul Scholes says, and I've said this many times. Don't really care who we get, to be fair. This is what Paul Scholes has been saying about the matter. He told the PA news agency, he says, I hope it's something that gets sorted soon. If the ownership is a done deal in a couple of months, that will hopefully help the manager and maybe bring more funds. Although I don't think any manager has been left short by the owners we have now. You what, Paul Scholes? I agree with everything apart from that because, yeah, fair enough. I mean, actually, Ten Hag was given a couple of $100 million in the summer to spend, and we did get a lot of players in. But there's always just that feeling at United that we don't go the extra mile. We want owners who are going to go the extra mile, not owners who are just going to give us the bare essentials of what we need. We want owners who, we wanted the Glazers to be backing managers to the point where we've got excess players coming in. I mean, I'm not saying what Todd Bowley or what Roman Abramovich and those guys have done at Chelsea is good, in the sense that they're just cheating, really. But you can't deny that they've gone the extra mile with trying to make players available to the coaches. And that is something that I don't really think Man United have done to the same degree. We want, obviously, more players to come in. We should have got another midfielder in the summer. We should have got another striker in the summer, clearly. I guess we were left without Ronaldo after a while. That's a bit of an it fact. You can't really plan for that, I suppose, with him completely crumbling and turning his back on the football club and doing what he did. I suppose you can't really plan for that. But certainly, we were left lacking and wanting a midfielder in the summer. So I don't totally agree with what Paul Scholes said here. But he says, although I don't think any manager has been left short by the owners we have now, I think the club are ready for a change. It's pretty obvious the fans are ready. So absolutely, we're ready for a change now, guys. He also went on to say, of course, the last thing you want is protests around the ground. As soon as the new owners come in, if it ever does happen, all that will stop and hopefully we can move forward. So that's sort of where the latest is in my head as well. It's like once we've got new owners, everyone's on the same, singing from the same hymn sheet. We can start to plan properly in terms of improving all areas of the club, signing the right players and moving forward together rather than being hindered and shackled by the shithouse Glazers. He finished by saying, I don't care who is running the club as long as what is happening on the field is right. So that's fundamentally what's right. Yes, I agree with that. I'm sure the new owners, whoever it may be, will want to get everything right. They'll say the right things. Of course they will because they want to buy the club. But we just hope it all comes off. So that's a very good point. If we heard about Sir Jim Ratcliffe yesterday, a couple of the things that he said, saying things like, well, we're not going to just put in a stupid bid and overspend for the sake of it. But he said it's obviously an emotional purchase. It's a sports club. It's not just a business. And they want to try and do the right thing by the club on the field and get Manchester United back to winning ways. So that's all well and good. Everybody's going to talk a good game in terms of trying to convince the fan base that they're the right people for the club and also to convince the Glazers maybe to sell to the right people. But essentially, we have to see the proof in the pudding, don't we? And I mean, on the face of it, it does seem like Ratcliffe's skint compared to Qatar. He's obviously not skint, is he? I believe Ineos is worth like 20 billion or something. But compared to Qatar, he is short of a few bob. So that does mean that in regards to what could be invested in Manchester United over the short term, the Qatar bid seems more impressive, seems more ambitious because, well, there's just a feeling that they're going to buy 100% of the club. They're going to improve all areas in infrastructure, etc. So, but I do agree with Scholesy that it doesn't really matter who we get. I mean, the Glazers have done a piss poor job. Once they're out, I think we will be better off whoever we have got. But he says, yep, I'm sure they'll say the right things because they want to buy the club, but just hope it all comes off. He says, I don't think the team are bothered by all of that. I don't think it's hurt them, but the feeling around the fans is that they want it sorted. And we do want it sorted, don't we, guys? We want this sorted by the end of this season. Let's smash the hashtag Glazers out in the live chat, guys, if you agree that we need this sorted before the season ends. Of course we do, really, because we've got to get, planning for the next season. We have had a good season this season, and hopefully we'll continue to have a good season by winning another trophy or even two and cementing our place in top four. Ten Hag's done undeniable things, incredible things, but this is this season. We've got to start thinking about next season soon once this season's finished, and we don't want the Glazers lingering around in the summer to stop us from really progressing properly as a football club. We want to be getting on with things ASAP. So we do need to get the Glazers out before the end of the season. We do want new owners coming in sooner rather than later for those reasons. And in my opinion, it's going to happen. I mean, the Glazers are sort of hanging on. This is kind of the death throes maybe of their ownership of Manchester United because they want to try and squeeze just that extra little bit of juice out of the potential new buyers. So they're making it seem like they're not that bothered. There's a bit of PR guff going on. And also there's reports that there are interested parties in putting in big investment in the football club, but allowing the Glazers to retain their ownership and their power within the football club, which would just be an absolute disgrace, wouldn't it? We don't want that. So I don't think that option really is that realistic, though, because as we talked about previously, the backlash from the fan base would be huge if the Glazers were to announce a partial investment from an outside source, even if they cleared the debts off, even if they say we're building a new stadium. I mean, they're dirt to most United fans, to be honest, with the ownership and what they've done over the last 17 years. You can't undo what they've done. People say they've spent money, but they've also lacked in a lot of areas. They've also just lined their own pockets, haven't they? Popeye the Sailor Man, he's changed his name, bro. Popeye the Sailor Man, I was only just joking there, bro. But Sailor is spelt with an O in it. Well done, mate. Just see me as Mr. Autocorrect, lad. So, Popeye the Sailor Man, thank you for the Red Devil super sticker emoji there. Let's get some hearts in there for Popeye the Sailor Man, who has changed his name to the correct spelling, mate. I appreciate that a lot, lad. Let's go, man. Thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you. So yes, so Scholesy is not bothered who we get. I'm not really that bothered who we get, but let's have a little vote in the chat today to see how we all feeling about it. Who do you want running this football club beyond the summer, guys? Glazers, Sir Jim, or Qatar? Let's have a little vote in the live chat, just see where you're at today. It is taking quite long, Philip Chapman, I must say. Yes, it is. It's taken a long time, but that's because, like I said, the Glazers want to get as much for the club as they can. In terms of money-wise, a lot of people saying Qatar, but Butterpants says Sir Jim. William Reedy wants Flying Pig United running the club. Mate, if only I could win the Euro billions, I would be a decent owner compared to these shithouses. At least we love the football club, whereas I don't think they do really. It's just a business for them, isn't it? Okay, so here's a bit more news on potential amounts of money. Now, we talked about this a bit yesterday, but I think, 5.5 billion is probably about the maximum that they can expect to get. Reports suggest the Glazers are holding out for £6 billion, but that's too much money when you consider what needs to be spent on the football club. But here's a report from Transfers_UTD on Twitter via Santi JFM, which reports that Qatar is preparing to make a new offer of 5.5 billion euros for Manchester United. So, that could be potentially the amount of money that it goes for, which obviously is around about £5 billion. Maybe it will be £5.5 billion. Maybe we'll see Sir Jim try and put in a cheeky 5.2 billion bid. We will see. But tomorrow there will be bids on the table by 9 p.m. That is when the deadline is going to be, guys. So just to clarify, Reports coming out. 9 p.m. tomorrow is the deadline for another round of bidding here. Interesting. So hopefully we see, good bids on the table, like I mentioned previously. So Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim, reports suggest that there will be no reckless bidding. One source suggests that there will be no reckless bidding from either side. So, okay, sometimes you have to pay to get what you want, like at an auction. If you've got multiple bidders, if you really, really want something, you might pay actually well over the value of that in order to get it. It could be a situation like that, and that's what the Glazers are kind of banking on. They want to see a bidding war. They want to see, huge offers on the table and somebody doing it out of sort of like a passion project here, not just a business acquisition. Because from a business acquisition point of view, with the club in debt and what needs spending on it, it's not worth £6 billion, to be fair. If you look at what all franchises are going for, what they're worth, I mean, it's not far off of that, but it's certainly got a lot of investment that's needed still to come in. So there you go. Hey, Francois Coq, thank you for getting your comment in here, bud. He's been a member for 20 months. Let's everybody get a cheeky hashtag 20 in the live chat. Thank you very much, Francois Coq. I appreciate that, my friend. He says, hello, pig. Hello, Francois Coq. Thank you very much for getting in and being a member for 20 months on the channel. If you want to become a member, guys, there's a link in the description. You get access to emojis, highlighted member comments, badges, your name in green, and admiration from the Pig and the Bacon Brigade. Get in there, Francois Coq. Thank you for being a member all that time. And thank you, everyone, for liking the video. Rushmano says we got 90 likes on the vid. We're nearly at 100 likes. So keep hitting that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. Help us get there. Dean Prendergrass, great comment here. He says 5.5 billion is still going to break the record for a purchase of a football club. Spot on. Absolutely. So this is it. You can't expect them to, hold out for £6 billion when that would already be enough to break the record for a football club purchase. You're absolutely spot on. So, yeah, I mean, that's about right in my opinion. Guys, what is Manchester United worth in this current climate? I think it's worth, and I've said this previously, £4.5 billion. That's what I actually think it's worth. Now, that doesn't mean that's what it's going to go for, and that's clearly not what the bids are going to be, because, that would probably not be enough to convince the Glazers to sell, and also in the way in which these biddings work, it's like you don't want to put in a low bid because your opposition may well put in a significantly higher bid, and then it's an easy decision for the Glazers. So you want to be, in the same ballpark. So it's not going to be 4.5 billion. I do think it will be at least 5 billion, to be fair. But who really knows? Me personally, though, it's not going to be 6 billion. That's just an obscene amount of money. The Glazers, I think the PR team, they're putting all that out there in the ether just to, try and convince these people who are putting bids in to maybe stump up a few extra quid. That's really what's going on. So there you go. That's a good point, Dante. I love that comment, mate. He says technically they'll get 6 billion anyway if they walk away without having to pay the debt. Dude, great comment there as well, Dante. That's it. This club's still £500 million in debt, isn't it? Gungshi says 4.5 to 5 billion. 4 billion says Henrik. 4 billion says Dean. We can take oil, says Rajat. 4 billion says Madhouse. Exactly, Butterpants. Absolutely. He says 5 billion should be the most expensive sports team in history. What did the Broncos go for? Oh, definitely. It's an absolutely huge purchase. I mean, the only other one, I guess, that's in, that's similar. Well, not similar at all, actually, but you remember when the UFC was bought a few years ago? I think that was bought for like 4.6 billion. But that's actually different because that's like buying a whole sport in a way. I mean, it's not because there's other MMA organizations, but in terms of a sports franchise, it is a bit different. It's not a football club. It's not an individual team. So it's different. But, if that's going for that amount of money and that's an entire sport, essentially, how can Manchester United really go for that much more than that? And you're looking at these American football teams that go for similar amounts of money and what Chelsea went for in the 3 billion odd range. You've got to look at things from a realistic angle and think that, as from the Glazers' point of view, if they can get 4.5 to 5 billion pounds, they're doing bloody well out of that deal, aren't they? And I don't think they'll be stupid enough. I don't think they would be stupid enough to turn that down when they can just walk away, ride off into the sunset, and then probably just go and, put their greasy fingers in a bunch of other filthy pies all around the land with that said money. So there you go. Stay Gold comments, rumours are the Qataris are bidding 7.25 million. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into that. I know they may well want the club, but that would be absolutely preposterous, wouldn't it? Especially considering there's a lot of PR going around suggesting that the Glazers would snap your hand off at 6 billion. So I don't buy that. How can they justify spending that amount extra on a club? You know, you're talking about getting on for 3 billion more than it's actually worth there. And obviously, to me, United's the best football club in all the land. It's got the greatest history, richest traditions. But just look at it from the outside looking in, it's not a finished article by any means. We're not at the top of the pantheon of the greats at the moment competing for Champions League trophies like we should be. We haven't won the Premier League title for 10 years. You know, you can't suggest that we are that much value, really. Also, like we've talked about previously, there's a lot of money needs spending on the club. There's still debts. There's investment needed in all areas, really. The infrastructure of this club needs a complete overhaul. The stadium facilities, all that sort of stuff. So I don't think they'll get anywhere near 7 billion for the club. But 4 to 5 billion, that sounds about right to me. Mate, Aaron Copeland, thank you very much, Aaron Copeland, for becoming a member of this channel, my son. Let's go sue. Sorry about that, guys. We're old habits die hard. We don't sue around here anymore. But get your favourite emoji in the live chat to welcome in Aaron Copeland, who's become a member of this channel. Thank you very, very much indeed, Aaron Copeland, for becoming a member, my son, and representing the Bacon Brigade. I appreciate the support. Get in there, Aaron Copeland. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. Chrissy says it will be Qatar. Glazer's been chatting to them since the World Cup. Yeah, they're the most likely, aren't they, bud? They're the most likely. And if the World Cup bidding process taught us anything, is that, you know, they can make things happen, you know? And I'm not saying they were the same people involved, but I'm just saying they can make things happen, my son. Do you know what I mean? Butterpants, great comment, says the Broncos were sold for $4.65 billion in 22. Okay, fair enough, but that's the fucking Denver Broncos or wherever they are. Don't even know where they're from, mate. You know what I mean? Like, what's that all about, bud? Okay, I get it. We're talking about American hand egg here, mate. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. I understand what you're saying. It's a sports franchise. It's a team. We've got to look at parity, comparative, you know, sales. But, you know what I mean? It doesn't even... It's not the same because they play an absolutely guff sport. You know what I mean? They play an absolutely guff sport. So, you know, no disrespect. American football is different, though. And also, American football is different in many ways because their leagues are like closed leagues. They have like the franchise. They have these franchises there. And you can't even get relegated or promoted or any of that business. I mean, what an absolute joke. It's like European Super League, but only in America and only Americans care about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the funniest thing about American football or American sports in general. Baseball, basketball, hockey. You know, okay, there's, you know, Iceland play hockey and lots of places play basketball around the world. But nobody really gives a toss about it other than the Americans, to be fair, guys. Everybody knows that. It's just their own sports are their sports, and they have a World Series of baseball, which only America competes in. You know, so it's kind of a moot point, to be honest. It's kind of a moot point to even discuss American sports. But they have a closed league system, which means that it's different. Their investment is always protected because there's no possibility of them actually getting knocked out of the league, which in my opinion is just gash. That's what I love about the English Football League and the fact that you can actually just take a football club from the lower echelons of actually local football. There's nothing to stop you technically if you've got the facilities and you get promoted, you know, regularly. It's nothing to actually stop you from setting up a football club in your local town and taking it to the Premier League. It might sound a bit ridiculous, but I mean, if you look at like Hashtag United, yeah? You know, Hashtag United, that YouTube football team. If you think about them, I think they've got up to like the 8th tier now of English football, which is pretty freaking impressive. I mean, or maybe even higher than that. I don't follow it. I'm not an expert, but the point is, they can technically get promoted, and one day they could be in the conference. Then they could get into League 2 and League 1 and the Championship. You know, that's actually a possibility. It's very unlikely. But if you consider the English football model, that's what's so amazing and majestic about it. It's based on performance. If you are a team in the Premier League that just shits the bed, Blackburn Rovers, for instance, Venky's bought them, bunch of chicken producers, they bought them and turned them into a bunch of chickens overnight. And they had a complete mare. Remember, was it Steve Keane or whatever his name was? Oh my God, what a nightmare. They totally destroyed that football club. Not the fans' fault or anything, but the point is, they sunk them out of the league and they haven't really ever recovered because it's tough. It's a tough pyramid, but it is a pyramid and you can start from the bottom and you can climb your way right up to the top. That's what makes English football so unique. Whereas a lot of sports around the world, a lot of franchises around the world, they're protected. they're protected, and it's good in a way, I suppose. If you're an owner of a football club, it's good that your club's protected from dropping out. But it's not fair. What I love about English football is it's more fair in the sense that, you know, you can make your way up the leagues. Look at Bournemouth, look at Brighton, look at some of these smaller sort of provincial towns that have been able to cement themselves, or, you know, not cement themselves, but have done well over the last few years within the Premier League. And Bournemouth got back promoted again, you know, but they were in there under Eddie Howe for what, 5-6 years or something consistently. Just the fact that can even happen with a team that has a bloody stadium capacity of 12,000 just goes to show you how majestic English football is. It needs to be protected. If it was up to the shithouse Glazers, by the way, and up to, you know, the people behind the European Super League, this wouldn't be going on anymore. They would have a guff, closed European league, or, you know, with the elite teams where they take all of the money, and then the other leagues are just left to fend for themselves with a diluted product, you know. So I would be absolutely over the moon when the Glazers are out of this football club, because we know that what their stance was during that whole European Super League debacle, and if they could do it now, I'm sure they would, because they just want to make money. They were actually prepared to sell Manchester United's history down the river and destroy English football just for a quick buck. That's the sort of guys we've got in charge at the moment. Absolute disgrace, mate. Let's get a hashtag Glazers out. English football is amazing. Right. So, sorry, run over there, guys, but, you know, just a little side quest there I wanted to discuss, because it's very important to protect what we've got here. But anyway, because of that, it is different. That's the point that's why I was talking about this to begin with. Because of that whole English football system and the difference between American franchises, you can't really compare the potential sale of Manchester United to the potential sale of the bucking Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? So anyway, but thank you very much for letting us know. But Chelsea sold for about 3 billion. Chelsea is a shit club compared to Manchester United, to be fair, but they're still a big club within England. And in terms of where they were at previously, maybe they had to have a quick sale, maybe obviously with that whole Russia business going on with Roman Abramovich and stuff. But there was lots of interested parties interested in buying the club. It's gone for just over 3 billion in the end. That's a good indicator of what we can expect to get. We are worth a lot more than Chelsea because of the things I've mentioned, the history, the tradition, and the fan base is absolutely monstrous around the globe for Manchester United. Like, with the proper owners, we will be the biggest sports franchise in the world again. And so we bloody should be. So that's sort of where Manchester United is. We are a different sort of animal. We're a huge name, a huge reputation club. So because of that, we are worth significantly more than Chelsea. But nobody can deny we've got our own issues. We've got facility issues. We've got stadium issues. And so you can't expect to get £6 billion from the football club. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, Rajat V. Rushmano says we've got 117 likes. We've got 207 legends tuning in right now. Thank you all for getting in and getting your thoughts and opinions in the live chat. Do smash that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Drop a cheeky little thumbs up on it if you haven't done so, and help us out. So, report here coming out this evening as well. Let's just have a look at this one, guys, and get this up on the screen for you very quickly. Just a bit of information that is now coming out. So if we take a look at this real quick, we can see this is from 9:07 this evening. And thank you for Matty Rushmano for sending me this live throughout the show, because it's just coming out now. But Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase & Co. are understood to be helping bankroll Ratcliffe's offer with bonds and loans beyond the value of United's existing gross debt of 680 million. Is it 680 million now? Bloody hell. It's if that's the case, it's almost bloody gone up to back what it was when they first bought the football club. Mate, tell you something now. The Glazers are an absolute disgrace. But anyway, so there you go. That's one thing we need to discuss. So Jim Ratcliffe, it kind of seems like he's having a whip round in order to buy the football club, isn't he? Right. Whereas the Qatar group, the Qatar investment here, they would be just buying the club outright and putting a shitload of money into the football club outright. 100% of the club, loads of money coming in, loads of money readily available. Man United's power within the commercial revenue we have and everything suggests we could spend what we want, really, because of financial fair play. We won't have the same limitations that other clubs do. But Sir Jim Ratcliffe here, I mean, it doesn't necessarily sound great that he's having to, have a whip round, and get everybody involved and get other outside sources investing, in his bid. But that's what it seems like here anyway. Let's just have another read of this. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase & Co. are understood to be helping bankroll Ratcliffe's offer with bonds and loans beyond the value of United's existing gross debt. I mean, I don't think we have to be concerned, as much as just having the shithouse Glazers at the football club. But there is a big difference between having an owner that needs to beg and borrow in order to buy the football club and then having an owner that's just coming in and spunking the cash left, right and centre. There is a big difference there. So, I mean, I want what's best for Manchester United. Who knows what's really best for Manchester United? We just hope that both of these guys that are interested in the club have a strong interest in making Man United great again. Hashtag Mooga. We need to make Manchester United great again. And I just hope that both of those have that honest intention at heart. But the easiest route to victory for Manchester United would certainly be for Man United to have Qatari owners who are worth hundreds of billions and could just invest huge amounts of money into the football club to make us great again in a much shorter time. That's the reality, guys. So for that reason, I do think that I'm just about these days leaning towards Qatar because of the money situation. We don't want owners who are skint, and Sir Jim's not skint. He owns a £20 billion company. So it sounds funny to say skint, but comparatively, he's skint compared to these Qataris. So that's really where I'm at, really. I'm just like Paul Scholes, not too bothered about who we get, but I would like us to have as much money readily available as possible to compete with the other teams in the Premier League that also have a shitload of cash. Newcastle United's owners, Saudi Arabia, worth hundreds of billions. Man City's owners are worth billions and billions. There's so much competition out there. And if you want to sign the very best players in the world as well in the summer, if you want United to be linked to players who are worth 100 million, players like Mbappe, Osimhen, or Bellingham, and these sorts of players, if you want Man United to go and actually have a strong chance of getting those players, you need investment. You need money. You need money readily available. Because otherwise you may well lose out, such as Liverpool. Let's get some hashtag laughy faces in there for the Scousers. Because, like we were talking about yesterday, reports coming in that really they're unlikely to be in the Bellingham race in the summer for the fact that they're having a proper Poodoo Magoo season under Jurgen Floppy Cloppy. And also the fact that, they don't really have the financial prowess that a lot of the other clubs do. Okay, they can spunk, 90 million or whatever it was on that Darwin Núñez Head and Shoulders melt. But other than that, they have spent a bit of money, but do they have the same financial power as a Man City or a Newcastle or a Manchester United if we were going to get, those owners? They wouldn't do, which means that the likeliness of them actually getting these blockbuster signings goes down significantly. And we don't want that happening to Manchester United. We want every possibility of being able to buy the best players in the world for whatever the money is. Mbappe for 200 mil. That's who I want coming in the football club. I don't want us to go and sign a Mitrovic from Fulham, to be fair, even though he's a good option. As a squad player, maybe so. But I'm talking about having proper ambition here and buying the best of the best of the best of the best. Lewis Hamilton doesn't drive around fucking Silverstone in a fucking clapped out Ford Cortina, does he? He's got the best of the best machine in order to help him do the job. That's what United need. We need the best tools to do the job, and the way we're going to get the best tools is to have the most bestest, richest owners to compete with the biggest and richest owners in the league.
In there, my son.
Atkins21, thank you for the banana super sticker, my son. Let's go. Thank you, Atkins21. Let's rain down some hearts in the live chat here, boss. Nice one. Stay Gold says Mbappe, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, some people may laugh at that, right? Laugh at the fact that I'm talking about Kylian Mbappe to United. But, I mean, is it really that unheard of? I mean, we have, even in the last few years, when we've had the Glazers running the club, and we haven't even won that much, really. Okay, we won in 2017 some things. Just if you look at some of the players we've been able to sign, I mean, we signed the biggest, most famous player in the world, the highest profile player, the most famous human on the planet, you could argue, a short while ago in Cristiano Ronaldo. I know he had that previous history with us, but just the fact we were actually able to do that and able to pay him what we were paying him and able to do that just shows you what sort of a Goliath of a club Manchester United actually is. If we had money behind us as well in terms of owners' investment, we could go and buy anybody, mate. We could probably pay for a fucking cloning facility in order to get the DNA of Maradona and Pele and splice them together and make a hybrid version that we produced in a fucking laboratory like Blanca from Street Fighter and just get this uncaged animal beast in there. You know what I mean? Money is not going to be money's not going to be a problem if you've got Qatar owners, is what I'm saying. Okay, maybe the cloning thing, that's a little bit unrealistic. But I'm just saying, we would have so much money. We would have so much money that we could do that, right? We could do that. Mr. Leo G, thank you so much for getting in here with the 6-month member comment. Let's get a hashtag 6 months in the live chat for Mr. Leo G. Thanks for supporting this channel, being a member for 6 months, you don. He comments and he says, Man United are going to be very lucky, for hook's sake, from a Liverpool fan. Get in there, my son. Mate, thank you very, very much for that, Mr. Leo G, though, for getting in here, even though you're a Liverpool scummer, and saying something which I think we're all thinking, really. Like, there's no stopping Manchester United if we get these Qatar owners and we can just go and buy any player we want. I don't think there's any stopping us then. We won't be scrimping out and signing, you know, the Wout Weghorst, for instance. No disrespect to Wout Weghorst, I like him, he's a decent squad player for us. But we won't be signing players like that if we've got new owners, new Qatari owners. We would be going to get who we need when we need it. Whether that's the best player in the world or not, but that's who we would be going to get. El Professor, thanks for your super comment here. He's got a hashtag 5-month member comment in there. Thank you for supporting the show, bud, and getting your comment in. He says, we also managed to get Casemiro from Real Madrid without even having Champions League football. Great point, man. What a great message. What a great comment. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. This is the sort of club Manchester United are. We've got no Champions League football. And everybody was criticising Man United for that purchase, saying he's too old. And everybody was criticising Casemiro, actually. Myself included a little bit. Not really, but I was a little bit concerned when we signed him that, is he coming to Manchester United for the right reasons? Because he was at a club where they're challenging for trophies, they're winning Champions Leagues. I was just thinking, is he coming for that final big payday? I.e., is he doing an Alexis Sanchez or, you know, something like that where he's going to come to the football club, take a massive paycheck, and just sort of chill and go into cruise control mode? Obviously, I'm happy to be very, very wrong about that because he is obviously a very committed, dedicated player still, more so than ever, really. I've got no doubts in Casemiro and his effort levels. But you're absolutely right. Just the fact that United were able to go and get Casemiro from Real Madrid at that time, on the back of winning European trophies and on the back of him, you know, having a ridiculously successful career. Rafael Varane's another one. You know, these players that we've been able to get, especially Casemiro with no Champions League football that summer or that season, you're absolutely right. Goes to show you what a colossal football club Manchester United is. We paid 70 million for a 30-year-old, and that's with the Glazers in charge. If we have Qatar owners with hundreds of billions backing, we will just go and buy anybody. Plus, they've got some sort of finger in some sort of pie over there in PSG, don't they? Okay, it might not be technically linked because, you know, but there's state funding going on for Qatar, and it's, you know, it's like different subsidiaries and things like that. It all gets very confusing. But essentially, who gives a shit about the French league? You know, I mean, if you're like some super rich oligarch or super rich person over in Qatar, then why wouldn't you want to make Manchester United in the Premier League, the greatest league in the world, your focal point? You definitely would. So you would probably be able to do some sort of things where you're getting these best players over to United anyway from PSG. You know, nobody wants to be at PSG, guys. Sorry to say this, but you think Kylian Mbappe and Messi and all these guys and Neymar and all these guys actually want to be playing against pitchfork wielders in the Farmers League every single week and losing? I think it's just the fact that they lose quite a lot of games to these farmers that they come up against goes to show you that they don't really give a toss and that it's just a complete holiday for them, really. It's money. They're getting paid handsomely to do so. It is European football. They are in the Champions League, or were in the Champions League. They're not going to win the Champions League, though, because they don't have that same level of competition every week. It's not the same. They're not one of the top clubs in Europe. They might have the top players in Europe, but they're not a top club in a top league, so their standard is just not as good. That's the reality. So if there was an offer on the table for comparative money for Lionel Messi or for Mbappe or for Neymar and these guys, they wouldn't be playing in the French Farmers League, guys. They're only playing there for money, these guys. So that's the reality. If there was other options for those players, they wouldn't be there. Man United, if we've got that sort of money, crikey, I mean, I'm not I'm not adverse to us becoming that sort of money bags team. I might have criticised previously in the past teams like City and Chelsea, but that's because they cheated, guys. That's because they fundamentally were a bunch of non-starters. You know, it's like they were teams that perennially melted. Not long ago, City win the fucking championship, guys. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea didn't win jack shit before Roman Abramovich came in and chucked loads of money at it and just cheated. And dirty money at that as well. They didn't win jack shit, did they? They were just a perennial cup team. That's it. Finishing third or fourth and never actually doing anything. It's only them actually going the full extra mile and just spunking a ridiculous amount of cash. And in a way, ruining the financial landscape of English football to some degree, that they were able to do that. And Manchester City's the same, even worse. Man City, we all know, would be playing in the fucking Poundland Stadium if it wasn't for their owners just doing what they've done and them shirking financial fair play responsibilities and greasing palms and all the rest of it. It's an absolute disgrace. But Man United is a totally different animal to that. We deserve our success. We've earned our success. We've earned the ability to have the strongest financial power in the market. So it's not the same. So even though we can criticise City and Chelsea, we're not hypocritical because United is on a totally different planet to those guys. Same goes for Arsenal, to be fair. You know, say what you want about Arsenal. Arsenal's one of the most successful clubs. Liverpool's another one. I will respect Arsenal and Liverpool and their success in recent years. I say success in recent years with Arsenal with a little bit of a wry smile. But you know what I mean? They are top of the league right now. Their success in recent years, you have to respect it because they've done it the right way. The history and tradition and the support of those clubs from the fan bases, etc., you can't deny it. You know, Manchester United's the best club in history in England. Liverpool's the second, and Arsenal's the third. And that means something. You shouldn't just have some rich oligarch owner be able to come in, buy Millwall, and take them to the fucking Champions League. That shouldn't be the way. But, you know, that's what essentially those teams did with Chelsea and City. So they're a disgrace. But anyway, yeah, that's it. They just got sugar daddies, and that's what's happened there, really. Okay, guys, right, so yeah, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase and Co. understood. I got off on a real tangent there, didn't I? Sorry, guys. Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase and Co. are understood to be helping bankroll Ratcliffe's offer with bonds and loans beyond the value of United's existing gross debt of 680. He's getting a whole whip round involved there. That's not really great, is it? So we would like to see Qatar, I think, come in because they've got more money. Another report here coming out this evening. Thank you, Rush Miner, for keeping us up to date with all of the latest. Check this one out, guys. Let me just put this one up on screen. So, new little report coming out this evening here. Sheikh Jassim is very confident his debt-free bid to buy Man United will win over the Glazer family as the £5 billion takeover battle enters its defining stage via telefootball. Thank you very much, Rushy. So, yeah, you know, I think they should be very confident with the acquisition of the club. I think the Glazers stand to make a little bit more money going with the Qatar deal. And I think this club and the fan base, we probably will be in a good position with those guys as owners because, as I say, the financial power will be undeniable. Thank you very much for that latest update there, bud. Appreciate that one. So, yes, and another report here. Santi J, as I say, says that we are preparing a bid for that they are preparing a bid for 5.5 billion euros, which is about £5 billion. Sounds about right to me, guys. Sounds about right to me. Right, let's get into the live chat and see what you legends have got to say for yourself, guys. That's pretty much the latest. We know that there's a deadline coming here, as Fabrizio said. Sheikh Jassim feels very confident on his bid to buy United for full ownership. So Ratcliffe's Ineos group will also bid again after positive talks last week. Deadline for second bids tomorrow at 9 p.m. So we will be getting on here tomorrow night, giving you the latest updates. There may well be a surprise. Who knows? There could be more bidders. There could be a new public bidder that enters the fray, or we could get a little bit more information, some sort of revelation in regards to a takeover. So we will absolutely be on here same time tomorrow night around about 9 p.m. So make sure you're subscribing to this channel. Smash the subscribe button if you're new. Click the bell icon for notifications so you do not miss a thing. You can follow us on Twitter where we post all of the links as well. Put an exclamation mark Discord in the live chat as well and join the Discord. If you're on Discord, there's a transfer news section in there. And I post all the videos in there, so when we go live, you'll get a notification. So join the Discord as well, and let's get stuck into the live chat and see what you guys are saying. But before we do, hit the like button on this video and help us get to 200 likes. I almost did 3 there, but let's get to 200 likes, guys, on this video. Hit the thumbs up button. Every like counts. It does help us on there. There's a lot of clickbait wankers and corporation channels on YouTube, etc., who pump out guff for the sake of it. So if you want to support this independent fan channel, and we only cover the latest news in a no bullshit way, then help us out by dropping the like on it. It's free, and help us boost up there on the algorithm. Nice one. Right, let's get stuck in then. Andy says, Pig, Scholes played at United when we were massively successful. He's obviously going to be biased to a certain degree towards the Glazers. Look at our club and legends. It's rare anything bad is said. So true, Andy Young. Think about Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson, of all people, I can't remember anything he's ever said bad about the Glazers. In fact, quite the contrary. Even towards the end, even recently, he's always said things like they always gave him what he needed. So you are right, bud. You're absolutely right in what you're saying there. That's a fair point. But a player less so, because look at Gary Neville. Gary Neville's very openly critical of the Glazers' ownership. So to a degree, but Scholes maybe just doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. He is trying to keep that good relationship with the club, I suppose. But yes, Paul Scholes' comments, as we talked about earlier, he sort of just summed up most of us what we're saying, really. He says, I don't care who's running the club as long as what's happening on the field is right. So yeah, but absolutely true. T800 says, who would you choose, Pig, out of these? Kane, Ramos, or Osimhen? I say, okay, so Gonçalo Ramos, Victor Osimhen, or Harry Kane. I mean, honestly, this isn't a popular opinion. This is my unpopular opinion. I would take Harry Kane because he's proven in the Premier League and he gets the goals and he's got a ridiculous strike rate in the league. That's the only reason. He is older. He's 29. You're only going to get a few good years out of him. But for what we need right now, look at Casemiro. Casemiro is what we needed right now. World-class CDM. Proven, we got him, and now we're a different team. Same would happen with Harry Kane, whereas Victor Osimhen, he's only 24. He's actually he's undeniable what he's done this season. He's incredible. The amount of goals he's scored is brilliant. What they're doing at Napoli is brilliant. But to me personally, I would take Kane. I know that's not popular opinion. Let's have a little vote in the live chat and answer T800's question. Gonçalo Ramos, Victor Osimhen, or Harry Kane? I know most people are going to say Osimhen, but that is my unpopular opinion. I think Kane's the one. Kane would be the one to help us. But there you go. Either, like Scholes said about the owners, it doesn't matter. And I don't really care who we get in terms of a striker, as long as it's a really quality world-class striker who's going to get you 20-plus goals a season. And actually, if we've got Qatar owners in, I don't even want either of those guys. I would like us to go and get Kylian Mbappe, which I think maybe becomes a possibility, becomes obtainable if that was to be the case. Hitman Gonçalo says Rajat. Fair play. Dante says, in fairness, Fergie said Phil Jones would be the same level of gigs for longevity and trophies. He said made a clanger or two. That's true. Do you know what? He actually said this, Dante. He actually said this. Phil Jones, and I quote him, Phil Jones has the potential to be this club's greatest ever player. Can you believe that? You can't get it right all the time. I remember when Fergie said that. He literally said that about Phil Jones. He has the potential to be this club's greatest ever player. Jamie Roach says, you spend like 200 million plus every summer, you mugs. Yeah, but I mean, you can't deny that. You can't deny that. We have spent that. But, we've only started to spend it properly recently, if you ask me. Yeah, we've spent it, but we had a wanky banker, Eddie Woody Woodward, in charge for a little while, bud. Remember that? Who was making footballing decisions, bud, and buying Harry Maguire and shit like that. And we were not making clever acquisitions, man, for years. Morgan Schneiderlin, you know what I mean? Like, we just, I don't know, we've done a lot of questionable suspect things with poor ownership and poor hierarchy at the football club. So it's all well and good spending money. You've got to spend it the right way, don't you? Now, we're hopefully getting towards that area. So that's a fair point. We can't deny we haven't spent money. But also, if you're talking about trying to support the Glazers here or justify the Glazers, they haven't spent money in other areas, but it's only the shop window where they spend money. Yes, I do remember that T800. That's a bloody lootly. No, to be fair, Phil Jones, when he first came from Blackburn and he was a young lad, he actually looked fantastic and he actually did have loads of potential. So I do understand why Sir Alex Ferguson said that. But, it's obviously, you can't really predict what's going to happen with certain players. Some players do brilliantly for a while and then they melt. Other players come on strong later in their careers and have great careers. There's loads of players like Dele Alli, for instance, who, was looking like at one point Dele Alli was probably going to become one of the best English players of his generation. I don't think you can deny that based on his first few seasons at Spurs. But then it's just a massive drop-off, a complete melt job. You can't deny that that's not the case. That's not the case. So, yeah, it's a funny old game is football. It's a funny old game. Different players develop at different times. Sometimes players get knocks to their confidence or injuries that set them back, and they never truly fulfill their potential. And other players sometimes spring out of nowhere later in their career, and all of a sudden, from the age of 25 on, they become world class. And before that, they were kind of just like average. That can happen too. It's kind of about the mentality. It's about the individual, and coaching becomes a big part of it as well. Simon says, great and interesting stream tonight. Hope to catch you on the next stream. Have a good night. Hey, thank you, Simon Warner, for watching, and your nice comment there, bud. Kelvin Curran says, Kane deserves silverware. I don't get all the hate for Kane. I know he's a bit of a Rodney Trotter-looking Spurs mount, and he's a spud at the end of the day, and he hasn't won anything. But, is it really his fault that he's not won anything? It's not really. He and Son and Lloris and a couple of others have carried Spurs for years. They are just but an absolutely gashed club, really. So, I don't blame I don't blame Kane for Spurs' lack of silverware. If he was playing for a top team, if he played for Real Madrid or if he played for Barcelona or Manchester United, I believe he would have some silverware. Of course he would. And they would benefit from having a great player like that over the years as well. Kane is world class, as George G. Completely agree, he is. He is world class. There's not that many truly world class goal scorers, but Kane is world class. Chris K says Kane brings continued success. Yeah. The only thing that puts me off Kane is his price tag, which, there was reports are that they want 100 million. He's not worth 100 million at all anymore because he's 29. He's only got 1 year left on his contract after this season. So his contract ends in summer 24. That's 1 year. You can't expect to demand 100 million for a player who could leave you or even sign on a Bosman ruling in the next January window. So in less than a year's time, he could agree terms to leave at the end of next season for free. You can't demand 100 million for a player like that. So Spurs will have to be realistic if they are looking to do some business. And actually, I think they will sell this summer if there's a good offer that comes in. Because, in my opinion, this is Spurs' last chance to get that big payday for Harry Kane. Because if I'm Harry Kane, I'm not signing a new contract at Spurs and just committing myself to be Steven Gerrard 2.0 and never winning a Premier League trophy or anything. It's actually worse because he won trophies. Other than that. So, I wouldn't do that if I was Harry Kane. If I was Harry Kane, you've got to get out this summer. You must leave this summer for his own career. And he's flirted with that in the past. Last season, he wanted to go. City were knocking on the door with 100 million. They didn't sell. So he had to commit for the season. Other than that, Harry Kane would not really be there. He doesn't want to be there. The only person who actually wants to be there is Son Heung-min. And I don't know why, but he's got some real perverted fetish going on with Spurs. Look, I like loyalty. Loyalty's dead in this current day and age in football, more or less. Son seems to have that outright blind loyalty towards Spurs. And I don't know why, but he deserves a lot better as well. He deserves way better than Tottenham. He's too good for Tottenham, is Son Heung-min. So, same goes for Kane and Son Heung-min. Chuddish Juices agree, Levy will take whatever is offered. I mean, they'll try and get the most they can, but this summer's the time that they'll sell is the most likely time. Superfat Frank says United is too big for Kane. We've got Wout Weghorst playing up top, mate. Is that the case? I mean, I don't really think so. I think we could really do with Harry Kane right now. Hey, Lynette Giggs, what's going on, Lynette, you legendess? Let's go. How you doing tonight? Where's your comment gone? She says the asking price is way too high. Spurs will pull a Pogba. Yeah, maybe so. But I think they can be convinced. I would pay £70 million for Harry Kane in the summer. What about you guys? We paid £70 million for Casemiro at 30 years of age. So what is the difference? There's not much difference there. I would pay £70 million. He's a goal scorer, improving goal scorer. Even this season, he scored 21 Premier League goals for Spurs. Only bettered by Haaland, who's having just a ridiculous season. So think about that. You're talking about a proven baller in the league. 40, says Ryan. I mean, I don't think they'll sell him for 40, to be honest. But, maybe. I mean, his value's diminishing by the day. 60, says Gav Dog. You would pay 70, says Joshua Gooch. Andy says, Pig, honestly think people need to stop kissing Kane's backside. He's good, sure, but has he ever won anything? Silly comment, though, Andy. He plays for Tottenham. You know what I mean? You don't have to judge a player based on their trophies won, in all fairness. I'll tell you why he's a great player, mate. He's a goal scorer who smashes in loads of goals. He's got great vision. His great all-round football brain is actually top tier. His vision, his passing, his movement, his heading ability. To be fair, Andy, if you don't think Kane's world-class, then, I don't know, you must be a Kettering Town fan or something who's not used to seeing world-class players, mate. Because, he is world-class, mate. He's absolutely fantastic. But people don't give him the props because he plays for Spurs. He can't help that, really. You know, he's contracted and they won't let him go. He's absolutely brilliant, honestly. Kane is absolutely brilliant. He's the best English forward we've had since Wayne Rooney, no doubt. No doubt. Right, anyway. Okay, Philip Chapman, thank you for your comment. He says, if we had Kane this season, with the service he would have been top of the league. Great shout. Lee says, Bale left Spurs, went to Madrid, then won everything. What a great comment, Lee. What a great comment from Lee. So true. Gareth Bale at Spurs, absolutely melting. What's the best thing he won at Spurs? A bloody 2008 League Cup? Was he even in that squad when they did that with Harry Redknapp? Maybe. But the point is, you know, he came into his own when Spurs were in the Champions League. He started to be that talismanic player for them, move further up the pitch, scoring lots of goals. He had so much talent that he wasn't going to stay at Spurs. And that was a little bit different of a time anyway. Spurs was slightly more of a selling club back in those days. You know, they sold Berbatov to us, they sold Carrick to us, and Bale went to Madrid. But for 80 million, though, you know, he didn't go for nothing. It was was it a world record at the time, or was Ronaldo starting more? I think it was about the same as the world record at the time. So yes, that's why Bale went. And Bale went on to win 4 Champions Leagues and absolutely everything there is to win. So yeah, that's such a good comment, mate. You know, it's not all about the players. The player is shackled by the team. That's really what's going on with Kane. That was what was going on with Bale. And that's what's going on with Son Heung-min as well. The players are shackled by the team. If those players went and played for Real or Barcelona or United or Bayern Munich, they would win trophies. Of course they would. Exactly, Jamza highlights. What a great comment from Jamza as well. He says, so did Luka Modric. Left Spurs for Madrid and won every... So true, Jamza. That's it, mate. Spurs are just absolute Jonahs. They're just a curse, mate. If you play for Spurs, you're cursed to forever never winning jack shit. You know? Definitely Kelvin Curran's. Kane at United would transfer the confidence in the team. And so true, Adaz. He says, Kane can't help Spurs being Spursy. Look at RVP. That's another good example as well, Rashad. Yeah. We've won nothing, says Cedric Burner. What are you talking about, Cedric Burner? Kate says, Pig, do you not think our players are gash at providing service to our strikers? I think we're getting better, bud. We're getting better. I mean, this season I've seen lots of good service getting in the box, man. I mean, Luke Shaw, say what you want about Luke Shaw. He loves a Fray Bentos pie. He's not always consistent. He's had a brilliant season for whipping fantastic balls into the box, though. Tell you that. He has. You know, there's lots of balls coming in from wide these days that are dangerous, lad. Last season, I think that's fair to say. You know, the season before, yes. But these days, we're starting to play better. We are. We're starting to get more dangerous balls in. Shaw's been whipping them in, you know. Come on, we have been providing a bit better service. We just don't really have the proper clinical man up top there to take all of these chances. I mean, if you had a Haaland-type player at the top of the pitch this season for Man United, we would have scored a heck of a lot more goals than even we have done. Because the service has been better this season. It's not perfect. There's still a shitload of work to do there. But it's actually not been as bad as you're making out there, I don't think, lad. Yeah. Shaw's quality, says Kelvin. We need Ericsson to come back too. Damn right. Kane will be like Maguire, says Cedric Burner. Disagree. Is Kane a fit for United? I mean, how can he not be? He's a very talented player. I mean, the only thing that you can really criticise him on is he's not that type of fast player that's on the last man getting in behind loads. But his movement and his football brain makes up for that. And his finishing ability, when he gets a chance, he takes it. He's clinical, mate. That's the difference between him and somebody like Weghorst. And yes, he doesn't have the pace of Victor Osimhen. He's a slow player comparatively to most forwards, actually. But he's a very clever player and he makes up for it for his movement. You don't always need to have the most pace in the world to be a great forward anyway, if you ask me. I mean, people go on about Teddy Sheringham, what a player he was. And he was an absolutely majestic player. He was slow as shit. But he was a very clever footballer, a very clever forward player. Thank you, Rushmana. We've got another update in regards to the sale here. That says Manchester United sale update. Second bidders will learn their fate around a week from tomorrow as the process progresses. SJ team remain confident but won't pay over the odds. Still the case that if the Glazers don't get what they want, they won't sell. Fuck off, Glazers. You know. Thank you very much for the update there, Rushmano. So yes, that would be great, wouldn't it, if we actually find out who wins the bid in about a week after the deadline tomorrow. So that's what that update has just said there. Thank you, Rushmana, for sending that over. So hopefully we do find out within a week or two in regards to who's actually buying this football club. That would be nice. And hopefully once that's established and once they've agreed the deal with the Glazers, hopefully it just happens very quickly. Look at Chelsea and how quickly that was bought by Todd Bowley. It can happen very quickly once the agreement's on the table. So come on, United. Come on, let's go. Hashtag Qatar in or hashtag Sir Jim in. But hashtag Glazers out. That's what we want. Glazers have to go, says Butterpants. Spot on, lad. They do have to go. I mean, there's still a chance that they could seek outside investment and just stay. Like, that could happen, I suppose, if there's a big offer. Like we heard about the Elliott Group yesterday having an interest to buy maybe like 29% or something of the football club and just invest loads of money into the football club in order to free up cash for the Glazers to be able to spend. But you know, if that's going to happen, then you know that the Glazers are just going to suck out dividends. They're going to reap rewards, probably sell little pieces and bobs of their shares that they got after the inflated prices have happened to their shares and stocks and stuff, shit like that. This is what they've done previously. They are just in it for the money. So we don't want them to have the stranglehold on Manchester United still. Far from it. We do need a total full sale of the football club. Vincent Bullock says, so in a week we'll be happy or very sad. So here is the waiting game. Very true, mate. I mean, there is still a chance that the Glazers stay. But I don't think that's the most likely outcome because they're hated at this football club and they know it. And they also stand to make a shitload of cash, even if it's a £4.5 billion offer, which is less than what they want. And that's what is on the table. And that's the best offer they're going to get. If that is the case, then they will still stand to make a fortune. They own 69% of this football club. They bought it for 800 million with debt, with loans. So, you know, they stand to make a fortune out of selling this football club, whether it's for 4 billion, 5 billion, 6 billion. They will make a huge amount of money. So I do think that they sell. We've got proper interested parties in a purchase of the club. But I guess if somebody offers them a really huge amount of money for a partial investment and they can just appease the fan base by using that money to improve the stadiums, you know, all that sort of stuff, then that could be the case. Or what's this that's just come in, Rushmano? Interesting. Check this out. Okay, so this is just another piece of informazione that's come out, guys. Let's have a look at this piece of news. There's lots of news coming out this evening in regards to this. So Justin, this is MUFC MPB on Twitter via Politico on Twitter, reports that Justin, UK government figures welcome Qatar's bid to buy Manchester United. Oh, I bet they do. I bet they bloody do. You know, in terms of the amount of money that can maybe be generated, I'm sure they do. So there's information coming out that there would be no standing in the way of you know, of a Qatari bid. Okay, fantastic. Okay, interesting. So another report come out this evening. Let's have a look at this one. I mean, let's just check this out. Take it with a pinch of salt. It is from the Daily Mail, you know, which in my opinion is an absolute toilet rag. But there you go. But here's another bit of info. We like to give you all the info in a you know, mostly in just a completely open way here, whatever's actually coming out here. And here is a bit of information that says the Qatar-based Sheikh Jassim bin Ahmad Al Thani bid is still the favourite, although a rival offer from Sir Jim Ratcliffe is gathering momentum. Oh, okay. We know that. Great stuff. Nice one, Daily Mail. Cutting edge reporting from those guys. So there we go, guys. Right, let's read a few more of your comments out, guys. Keep smashing that like button as well. We are nearly at 200 likes on the stream. We're nearly there. Let's get there. It would be nice. We need a cheeky little bacon brigade like Spike to see if we can get there. We're nearly there, folks. Not far away at all. So please do hit the like button and help us out. And like I say, subscribe. If you want to chat, you can chat in the live chat with this community and legends, but you do need to subscribe in order to do so. It's to keep the riffraff out. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so and subscribe to the channel. Nice one. Right. Okay, let's read a bunch more of your comments out then, guys. So, Dean says, can you imagine if the Glazers decide not to sell? Yeah, no, there would be a backlash of which they've probably never seen. Protests. It would be horrendous. I don't think they want that. Andy Young says, Pig, it's not just the lack of trophies. Kane likes to drop deep. He couldn't do that here as we use a cam in Tottenham. Are you sure about that, mate? Have you not seen Wout Weghorst playing for us? I mean, you know, in all fairness, though, I disagree totally, Andy. We might have to play a certain way now because of what we've got. You know, sometimes we've seen Weghorst up top, ineffective, dropping deep. Sometimes we've seen him in the hole with Rashford up top, and Rashford can play on the last man because he's pacey as fuck. but we could easily change the way we play to suit Harry Kane, mate. Kane is a very intelligent player. That's what I like about Kane. He's not just someone that's going to sit on the last man and just a tap-in merchant. He's actually somebody that does drop deep and gets involved in the play and could help create for you as well. So I don't see that as a bad thing at all, Andy. I think that's good that he's got more facets to his game. Just start a war to take the team away from foreign owners to Super Fat Frank. You what? You'd sign Kane, Man United need him, says I ran over Jesus. Absolutely same as me. Mount says I'd keep Sabitzer next season and let Weghorst go, to be honest. Maybe so. If we're going to go and sign lots of players in the summer, new investment in strikers, we need one real world-class striker and one very good striker. I think we need two. And that's considering maybe Tony Martial might still be here, maybe not. I still think we have to sign two strikers regardless. Ten Hag styles literally high pressers, Andy Young. Doesn't matter, mate. Doesn't matter. You can have plenty of players in the team that can do that. You telling me Bruno's not a presser, Rashi's not a presser? We do need somebody that can press from the front, absolutely. But Harry Kane, we can change our style, we can adapt. I think he's a great player. I'd have him anyway. Listen, we did a vote the other day on the channel. 75% of the live chat said they would prefer Victor Osimhen. So I am in the minority. I'm in the minority here. I understand that, Andy. But to say that Kane, we couldn't accommodate Kane, I think that's wrong. We definitely could. He's a very good player. Rival clubs and fans are shaking in their boots for Qatar, says Adaz. A debt-free, wealthy United is a scary prospect for European football, and I love it. Well said, mate. Well said. They are all scared, aren't they? They're all running scared. And especially with Ten Hag at the wheel, with what he's done as it is. Imagine with all the backing in the world behind him, it would be tremendous. We do need a lot of players in the summer, Malps. Yes, we need a midfielder. We need a right back, another centre back to replace the outgoing Slabo. We need a striker or two. I couldn't agree more. Hey, Callum Hughes, I'm not too bad, mate. Thanks for asking, bud. Victor Osimhen and Camavinga and Mbappe and Verratti, says Cedric Burner. Nice. Love that list. Love that list. Ryan says nah to Kane. 100k seater stadium, and that's on the cards with the Qataris in as well. Good night, I ran over Jesus there, bro. Have a good night, dude. Kelvin Carroll says green and gold until the club is sold. Games won't go ahead if they stay. We won't let them. Exactly, Kelvin. The backlash would be insane. Manchester United don't need Kane, says CR7. Well, we don't need Kane, I don't think, but he would be a great option. I think he's one of the best 3 or 4 striking options we could go and get. He's probably, in my opinion, he's not as good an option as maybe, Mbappe or Osimhen, but there's others. Gonçalo Ramos is a good option. But Kane is definitely up there, mate. I don't understand all the hate for Kane. He's clearly a fantastic goal scorer and fantastic player. Kate says, Piggy, do you think a punch bag in the shape of Weghorst would inspire the next generation of UK MMA fighters? Maybe, Kate Cadet. It's a bit of a strange comment, but I don't know, lad. Seems like you need to let go of this hatred of Weghorst, man. He's only here as a stopgap. He probably won't be here next season. And if he is, it will be in a third choice backup role. So you calm yourself down there, Kate Cadet, lad. Calm yourself down. Atkins21, thank you for the £5 super chat there. He says, oh shit, I did it again, guys. Oh no, I did it again. Let's get some hell yeahs in the live chat, though, for Atkins21 for the super chat. Thank you, bud. He says, as LVG thought long as the players are horny, the rest will sort itself. That's it. We need our players to, to have that pep, don't we? Definitely. Hi there, Joseph Victoria Rojan. Tony Devil's Red Hodgson says Osimhen. Jams are highlights comments. If you do sign Kane, Spurs won't send him to you till the last day of the transfer window, in my opinion, because you know what Spurs are like. That's a good point. Very good point. But we need to sign 2 strikers, in my opinion. Harry would have to learn English, says Chloe Jenkins.
Yeah, because mine's okay. Just when I want to play football, I'm sick and tired of Spurs not wearing trophies. So just going to go move to Manchester United and score some goals and all that. But I'm going to work on my English in the meantime so I can communicate with my teammates.
Yeah, that's so true. What are the chances that we sign Bellingham this summer, says Anas? Better than Liverpool's. Better than Liverpool's. Probably we are third favourites, in my opinion, to sign him. It's probably more likely still that he goes to Real Madrid, even Manchester City. But Man United, if we finish strong, if we win a trophy or 2 more, set our stall out with new owners, it could happen. Diang Sham, thank you very much for being a member of the channel for 8 months. Let's get a hashtag 8 in the chat for Diang Sham. And we're 2 likes off of 200 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. We're only 2 away. Who's going to be number 200? Diang Sham, thank you, Diang, for being a member for 8 months, bud. Absolute legend. Let's get a hashtag 8. Thank you, Henrik Kjellman. You love the comments, says Matthias. Let's get Ramos, FDJ, and Laporte. Well, Frankie de Jong is another good one. He was quoted the other night as saying he doesn't know what's going to happen, but he's happy, obviously, where he is at Barcelona, or more or less the rest of the guff. But he's still an option, definitely still an option. Have you seen what's happening with Gavi, guys? Speaking of Barcelona, right? Barcelona is such a shithouse football club, isn't it? So there's reports from there's been like a high court ruling or something going on here with Gavi and their or you know, something in regards to them and their dodgy contractual tactics. Barcelona here. So La Liga apparently will return Gavi's status to that of a Barcelona academy player in the latest chapter of a long-running legal dispute over the registration of a new contract he agreed in September. So Gavi will still be able to play as normal for Barca. But it means that, you know, there's a chance, it means a release clause allowing him to leave for nothing this summer comes back into effect. Gets in there. Have you heard this, guys? So they intend to take further legal action, and they probably will be able to fix it. But ultimately, it just goes to show you how shite Barcelona are. And in my opinion, yeah, they were trying to push Frankie de Jong out the door in the summer. Now, apparently now, Xavi and Frankie de Jong have a good relationship. Frankie de Jong's been playing a lot, and they have a good relationship again now. But in the summer, it's supposedly not great. And there, of course, there was actual public reports that they'd agreed a fee with Manchester United for the sale of Frankie de Jong. So you can't get away from that, can you? It's a possibility, mate. We're not going to talk about it too much on this channel because I'm sick of talking about Frankie de Jong. But, you know, it is a possibility, lad. Bringing United merch to Barca. Ezio says Gavi's overrated. I would love Pedri, not Gavi. Both of them are great, to be fair. I mean, Gavi's very young, though, Ezio, at all. What is he? Isn't he like 19? But I think it's a little bit harsh to say he's overrated, considering he's very young. He's been playing in the national team and stuff as well. Come on, man. He's got a great future ahead of him. Mickey says, search around, but can't find anything related to sales, says Mickey Lund. All the information's here, bud. What do you mean, Mickey Lund? Watch this video, lad. Gavi at United, take that all day, says Chrissy J. Me too. Andy says, Pig, there's been rumours that Kane would come to fill the English criteria needed for an English club, as you need a certain amount of homegrown players, especially if Slab leave. Well, I definitely take him regardless of his nationality, to be fair. But it's a plus point, I suppose. We don't need Rice, says Kelvin. 18 he is, Connor Matthews. There you go, 18. He's still a teenager. So to say he's overrated when he's playing for Barcelona and he's playing for the Spain national team and shit like that, it's a bit silly, isn't it? Right, guys. Yes, do as Rushmano says there and hit that subscribe button on this channel. We're going to be covering all the latest in regards to this takeover. Tomorrow, we'll give you the updates throughout the day and also in the evening because the deadline is 9 p.m. for the show. So please do hit that like and hit the subscribe. Click the bell icon for notifications. But we're going to wrap this show up now, folks. We've talked about it till we're blue in the face now. So, or red in the face. So thank you, everyone, for getting in here tonight and having your say in the live chat. You can come back after this video is finished, get your thoughts and opinions in there about what we've discussed. Who would you like to see take over the club, etc. Who would you like to see sign in the summer? Let us know in the not live comment section after this is finished. Make sure you do hit that thumbs up button and smash the like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com for your latest news, flyingpigclothing.com to buy a Glazers Out t-shirt. And also, I'm going to be back in less than half an hour, folks. Or no, around about half an hour, guys. We're going to be doing a FIFA stream on the channel like we always do. So make sure you guys come and join us just after 11 p.m. We're going to be I'm just going to grab a quick bite to eat. And then we're going to get on the show. And we are going to do a cheeky little FIFA stream where we have a lot of fun and have a bit of bounce and smash up some falls on the game. So come and join us for that just after 11 p.m, guys. We will be back very shortly. I'll put the link in the live chat to that, actually, so you guys can come and join us. In fact, do us a favour at the end of this show, everyone. Please do go over to the FIFA stream, even if you're not going to watch the FIFA stream. Just help us out by going over there as well and smashing a like button on it, guys. That would be awesome of you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Right, so there it is. I'll pin it to the top of the live chat, guys. FIFA stream is taking place right there. I'll pin that to the top so you guys can check it out. Go over there, smash a little pre-game like on it. It helps us out. We've already got 10 likes. Get in. Let's see if we can get 30 likes on the FIFA stream before we get going. Okay, guys, great stream tonight. Really appreciate you all getting your comments in. Sorry if I missed anyone. Thank you, Kate Cadet, Dante, Luan, Stu, Ryan, OP Dragon, Patricia, Mickey Lund, Mateus Cruz, Rajat, Michael Panton, Connor Matthews, Luan France, FJT, Rajat Malaysia. Thank you to Rush Mano for giving us the updates throughout. Thank you all of the mods, people like the Vutinator and Rush Mano and Dante and everyone for getting in here. Thank you to Chrissy J, Andy Young, Rajat, Connor, all the members of the channel in green. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you Rush Mano says Top Show Pig. Talk Big. Thank you very much. Thank you Adaz Daz as well. And everyone, appreciate it. Great show tonight, guys. Thanks for having your say and getting in here. That's the latest 9 p.m. deadline tomorrow for the bids for the potential takeover of Manchester United. Come on, United! Qatar in or Sir Jim in and hashtag Glazers out. Hashtag Glazers out and green and gold emojis to end on, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You've been great. And I'll see you in about half an hour for the FIFA stream. Catch you on the next one. And remember, Piggy loves you. Also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.